Welcome to game between the Viper and Sitaux on Arabia. And in the blue, we have Sitaux playing as the Mayans, an absolutely top tier civilization here on Arabia, in the south of the map. And in the north of the map, up against him in his classic yellow, we have the Viper playing as the Saracens. The Saracens are a civilization that are fearsome to play against, as they can do a lot of things with the market abuse. They get better market prices on their gold, so watch for a heavy investment on gold from the Viper. And if we look at the maps, you can see this is a very green Arabia, but it's not that closed off. Very open here on the right and left hand side of Viper's base, with the berries there on the left. Gold to the front. On the other side, I don't know if you can hear that. There is some kind of plane or jet, some kind of jet, going very low over my house, which is interesting. So if you heard a noise, that's what that was. If you didn't, just ignore it. For Sitaux's base, you can see his gold is very far forward as well, but his berries nice and towards the back. The left-hand side of his base, very wallable, but the right-hand side completely and totally open. Yeah, the jets are still flying around. Some kind of military exercise, probably. That happens occasionally, a couple times a year where I live. Or maybe even less than that. But it does happen occasionally where we'll get some military aircraft flying over. Viper keeping this boar here while this one gets collected. Very annoying thing to do. But Viper doing it very well. Keeping that boar from running away till he could shoot it down. And there it goes. If we look at the player's Viper over here, he's got 4 on wood, so they expect some sort of Dark Age. And on the other side, Sitaux already has the barracks up, so that's a pre-mill drush. No macros, please. I don't know what... I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what macros are. So, I did hear there's some kind of conversation about macros, and it seems like something that helps you with clicking a lot of things at once, or microing, but not really sure what they are, how they work. But here comes the drush. 1 militia so far, just 1. Viper fully walled up all around his little resources. So, Viper not going to be taking any damage from this drush, and is on the way to the Feudal Age with no Dark Age pressure for him. He's got to watch these berries, but he should be nice and safe. As it is still just 1 militia from Sitaux. A 1 militia drush is a new one for me. I wonder if he switched it up when he realized Viper had spotted it out so adeptly, and realized the investment wasn't going to be worth it for 2, because he wasn't going to get in anywhere, but 1 would cause Viper to wall up. So he still caused this idle time and the spent resources for Viper, but he hasn't spent much himself. This is an interesting thing to go for. Second lumber camp now coming in for Sitaux. Viper's still stuck on 1, and he would like to be heading towards 2. Viper not heavy on gold just yet, so we'll have to see what he's up to. With the Saracens, Saracens can go really for about anything in the Feudal Age, as they have a decent cavalry switch up against the Mayans. Probably not going to be seeing that because they're a camel civ. They're not going to be going into knights. So I think we're just going to see some archer plays from both players here. And yep, here comes the archer range for the Viper Sitaux. 30 seconds out from the Feudal Age, and we'll see what he goes into as well. And the Viper pushing in his deer. Wow, it's kind of an odd timing to do that. Viper seems to have withstood the Drush completely and totally, but an archer range now being dropped for Sitaux, and the Mayans get cheaper archers. So Viper's going to be wanting to add a lot more villagers to gold, and Sitaux is going to want to just overwhelm with the cheaper archers. Maybe 2 archer ranges from Sitaux. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. And let's see. He will have the wood when this archer range finishes. Almost. Keeps going away for houses and such. Sitaux walling up his base in a very unique manner. Walling to the town center, which is something you absolutely can do in these games with Archer v Archer. Walling to the town center is very effective. Now, Viper is going to want to delete these walls and get something else in here because these small walls are completely useless against archers. And, oh, it's going to be Archer Scout for the Viper. Both. Viper spots out the archers coming out for Sitaux. So, I would say the Viper is going to be going with a very aggressive play here. And this militia's still around, not doing anything, though. So, 2 archers and an eagle warrior. So, it's going to be eagles and archers. Okay, I see why the scouts are coming in. Eagles and archers versus scouts and archers. Interesting. So, heavy feudal investment for both players. Something that you would see really typically more in Empire Wars. I feel like this eagle play added to the archers. Blacksmith now being added by Sitaux. Viper does not have a blacksmith just yet. So, we'll have to see when he adds that. It's going to be pretty important. He's going for the market first. Viper doesn't have the wood to add another one, but he is going heavily onto this gold. And I think that's how he's going to balance his eco. The military is 7-7 with 5 archers and 2 scouts for the Viper and 4 archers and 3 eagle scouts for Sitaux. And a militia. Militia really doesn't play too much of a factor here. Will soak up a little bit of damage. Viper may be finding... No. Being annoying over here, finding a villager to annoy, but not one to kill. And so, doubly walled up over here. Oh, I see. He had to wall up both ways over here, because instead of walling like that, like, you know, you would expect, he walled all the way around there. So, just kind of a note for you when you're walling up, be aware of how close you are to the edge of the map. Ooh, Viper headed on to the back gold, had to abandon the front gold for some reason. Interesting. Now, does Sitaux know where that back gold is? Oh, he absolutely does. He has Viper's base scouted out just as well as Viper does. Viper getting fletching in, but archer armor already on the way in for Sitaux. So Sitaux is ahead in upgrades, and he'll probably be going ahead to get the armor for those eagle scouts as well. Not a fight Viper wants to take unless he's on the hill, I think. Yeah, you can see the HPs there. Pretty well in favor of Sitaux. Military's very similar overall. Viper getting the cavalry armor in, though. So that is actually a better upgrade than the archer armor in these fights, because you want to armor up your tank unit, which in this case the eagle scouts and the scouts, and get the attack upgrades on your ranged unit. So you want to get the ranged attack also because it adds range, and the armor for the scouts, not the archers. That's the order you want to do things in. Because archers, you always want their attack upgrades because it adds range and it's a higher percentage of their attack. You can see 4+1, that's 20% of attack. Whereas the scouts, 5+1, it's not much different, but it's only, what, 16% of their attack. If they had 6, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Viper pressuring the archery range. This isn't going to work out as Sitaux is adding a tower in here. Gonna defend that very nicely. Skirmishers also coming out. Ooh, Viper loses an archer there. Unfortunate. The tower shot at the scouts and ended up connecting with the archer. He's trying to take this archery range out. I don't think he's going to be able to do that, but Sitau's of the opinion that he will, and Sitaux on the way up to Castle H. Viper, not even close. However, he is Saracens. There's no resources in the bank for him at all. There's just no resources. I think he's trying to get up as soon as possible, but he has no resources. second and third archery ranges being added by Sitaux. And Viper heading over here. I think Sitaux was getting ready to head out and sneak around, and Viper scouted it out. Nicely done. The pressure from Viper is very good, forcing Sitaux into this tower. Not something you want to make. But Viper on the way up to Castle H as well, a minute slower. So it's about a minute time difference. And it's going to be 3 archery ranges for Sitaux. Viper, we'll see what he adds. He's not adding any military at the moment. And it just feels bad to go into archers up against the Mayans because they're paying less for the same unit. They're just paying less for it. Hard to fight against, but I don't know what else you're supposed to do. Obviously, I'd say siege is going to be something that needs to be added in a hurry for the Viper. So he's still fairly open here. Viper moving around Sitaux's base. The KD in this game, 1-0. Not really any fighting, just that one archer that went down to the tower. All this pressure from both players is heavy investment and no fighting. Sitaux did head out now with these 4 Eagle Scouts. Sitaux in the Castle Age, getting crossbow, bodkin, and he's going to be pumping out an awful lot of archers here in just a second. It's going to be something to be afraid of, and Viper needs to get out of here. I don't know if he's going to be able to. Oh, he's sticking around. Viper's sticking around. I don't love that decision. Maybe I do. I don't know. It seems like a weird decision to stick around. But the crossbowmen are headed forwards. They're not going to be dealing with this back here. And Viper going to have crossbowmen himself before these guys get caught out. That's crossbow Bodkin on the way in for the Viper. Eagle Scouts not finding any damage. Second town center coming up for the Viper as well. And these guys are going to be crossbows with Bodkin in 1 second. Boom, boom. And might get some vill kills. Yeah, has to get a vill kill, right? Yep, 1 villager down. Viper, I now like the decision. I thought Sitaux would go back and clean that up. Instead, he went forward looking for the pressure and isn't able to find it. Now, Viper doesn't have a lot of military here. Did add a knight. Not adding anything. Viper, what are you... What's the play? What's the play? I think it's siege. And he's getting away with these crossbows as well. Very nicely done. University for ballistics being added there for Sitaux very quickly. 3 town centers, though, for Viper. So this is a greedy play. Viper loves to play greedy. Can Sitaux punish it? Viper getting a few more villager kills here. So his villager lead is going to be pretty spicy here in a bit with 4 villager kills and 3-1 town centers. That really puts Sitaux on a clock. He's got to find the pressure in a hurry. And a university instead of a siege workshop. Interesting. Viper's very confident he can hold this. I, on the other hand, am not quite as confident as here come all these archers. And I would expect villagers to come forward very soon here for Sitaux to drop the siege workshop. He's got full military control with a 36-21 on the military. And they're making similar units, right? So it's not like Viper can just pop out and do something. Ooh, Viper's lost a few villagers now. 4-4 on the Eco KD fronts. Viper trying to make something happen, but it's just... It's awkward. He's got the enemy inside his base as he just continues to boom up and make more villagers. So 49-46 on the villagers. Viper is ahead, but not... You know, not a whole lot. Ballistics on the way in. And he's still dancing around Sitaux's base with this group of crossbowmen. Unbelievable. And Sitaux, does he know it? Yeah, he knows. He's tracking it with his own crossbows. And he's running his own villagers away. So Viper just keeping Sitaux's attention back at home just a little bit. But Sitaux is literally just sitting in Viper's base as Viper adds a 4th town center. Fully abandoning the farming eco and off of the gold mine. This is not good for the Viper. He's not making any villagers whatsoever. He's just sitting. Not making anything but a couple archers at a time, and he's never going to catch up in the archer numbers. Like, that's not even an option for him. So he needs to do something. And I think siege needs to be added. I really think that would be a pretty big deal. He's maybe going to try to take a fight here. I don't know if even that fight's a good one, though. No, the HP... Okay, now that fight's a good one. That is a good fight there. But is that? I don't know that that is. With some of these units being scouts that aren't going to do a whole lot in this fight. Viper, 53 villagers to only the 50 of Sitaux. But still flanking back around again. More and more town centers for the Viper, but so far behind in the military. 51 to 29. Sitaux's population, 102 overall population. Here come the archers, finding yet another villager kill. So these archers diving in, diving out. Viper not adding siege, just refusal to add siege here is so weird. Okay, there's the siege workshop. I thought he needed that before this university. Ballistics hasn't helped him at all. He can't take these fights. Ballistics helps you when you're fighting and microing and dodging and things. When you're not doing any of that, it doesn't help you. And here comes the archer mass right back into the center of Viper's base, and he's losing villagers. The villager difference, well, so is Sitaux, I guess. Viper just took a big engagement on the front of Sitaux's base that I missed. But Sitaux is just walking around through Viper's wide open base and killing more villagers. 9 to 9 on the villager KD, the eco KD, so Viper has a slight lead there and forcing Sitaux into siege as well, because not because Sitaux really needs it, but because he doesn't want to bring his military back home. There's the first mangonel for the Viper. That's going to matter a whole lot. It's about time. KD 30 to 27 in favor of Sitaux, even though he's been losing guys to these town centers and things. Still has the better KD. Viper heading home with his 17 crossbows. Not really a lot he can do. And he's going to drop some more villagers here. Dodging ballistics with the villagers, very fancy. And Sitaux, not really that concerned about one mangonel. Now, a mangonel plus some crossbows, that's a little bit of a different story. And yeah, Viper's going to clean this up pretty significantly. Yeah. Doesn't get a whole lot with the mangonel, 2 kills with the mangonel. But finally back in it as far as he's got Sitaux off of his face. But Sitaux not very far behind in villagers and well ahead in eco. And I think siege should have been added immediately by both players. Honestly, like the fact that both players are so hesitant to add the siege, such a weird thing. When Sitaux had this much military control, he should have made a siege workshop on this gold before this town center came up, locking down this gold, pressuring this town center. I really feel. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I think these guys just wanted to play a casual game. Viper playing wide open. Sitaux, 3 town centers. Viper, 4. Big fight coming in over here on the right, and this is pretty well even. Sitaux has a little bit of a hill. Viper has to back away, losing a lot of archers in the process. And Viper doesn't have any armor upgrades on these guys at all. So Sitaux, every time he takes a fight, it goes much better for him. Viper now with 2 mangonels, so that's a positive. He needs some more. He needs like 6 to make this these fights a little more even, but with 2. Viper just not getting the type of economy lead that you need to make this kind of a thing work out. And yep, here's exactly why. You have to have some semblance of military control or have your base secured to get this kind of economy lead that you want. If you don't have your base secured at all, you're not going to get much of an economy lead. As you can see, Viper has lost. Good shot there. Big shot there for Viper. But he's lost so many of his guys. Nice shots there from the Viper. The mangonel now has 13 kills. And this little army, Viper, you got to go in and clean it up now. As it kills another villager. And another. Ooh, dodging ballistics. Yep, these crossbows all going to die. But coming back in on the other side is Sitaux. Now the militaries are evening up, and Viper's on the way to the Imperial Age. So, but Sitaux also on the way up. So on the way up, about 5 to 10 seconds apart, and Viper dropping a castle. Ooh, that is a nice position. Locks down a stone and a gold, and this other stone makes it pretty much his as well. And it's up on a hill. Other castle position right here. If he has that kind of stone, and he does. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's going. Where's he going with this? Very interesting. I like that castle. Okay, he is placing it there. Both players on the way to the end. Both players dropping a castle. And Viper's going to find out about this castle, hopefully just in time to kill a villager and get away. Well, decides just not to get away. Kills 3 villagers and loses half his army. Interesting choice. The military's still so much in favor of Sitaux. Viper just playing wide open, and it's going to be an eagle switch. Right? You got to just do the eagles, man. Eagle switch here is GG. Viper's wide open. If your opponent's playing wide open like this and you're Mesosiv, just make eagles. What are they going to do? They're not going to do anything. They're going to die. But continuing into the crossbow is Sitaux. He's Mayans. First upgrade should be El Dorado. Honestly, before Trebs, just get El Dorado, make, and start pumping out eagles. More and more archery ranges, though, so we're not going to see eagles just yet. It would just end the game. With Viper playing so wide open, it would just end the game. Trebs on the way out for both players. No. Nope, Bodkin and Arblister. Sorry, Bracer and Arblister, and Chemistry on the way out for Sitaux. Viper just getting his armor upgrades now. Now there's Bracer. Chemistry should be on the way next. He's got the resources for it, so I would expect Chemistry to be on the way in just a second. Oh, Onager. See what I'm saying? Eagle Warriors. Eagle Warriors. And this is... The Onagers are so necessary here. That's why he wasn't getting Chemistry. And wow, that castle's got some sniping range. Trebuchet knocking at the door of this castle. Sitaux just gonna repair and head off to the right and look for something to do over there. Onager Tech or Onagers? Onager Tech is almost in. 8 seconds, 7. Yeah, very soon. Boom. Onager's in, and Onager's a pretty substantial unit. Viper also can get his unique tech, which allows his trebuchets to hit very hard. But here come the Arblisters right into the middle of his base. Viper, yes, making an Onager. It's kind of hard to tell the Onager tech from the Onager unit. It's just a zoomed in version. And, yep. And Sitaux now finds out about the Onagers, and not in a happy way, that's for sure. Pretty hard to micro against Onagers. Viper doesn't have Arbalist yet. He doesn't have a lot of things yet that he needs, really, here. But he does have Onagers. Sitaux, unafraid, oh, wow. Great micro from Sitaux, just sniping down that Onager like it's nothing. Onagers, man, need to be tougher. That was kind of embarrassing. He took half of that ball of archers and sniped it down in 2 shots. Viper, though, going into Elite Skirm's probably a good decision, but like I said, Eagle Warriors, like, we're seeing the best Eagle Civ in the game go Arbalist into Skirmishers and Onagers. And his opponent's wide open. I am not understanding the thought process behind the... Oh, wow. Both Onagers sniped. Okay, there's the Eagle Warrior click. El Dorado needs to be coming in this castle over here. I'm sure it will be very soon, and you'll start to see these techs blasting their way in. 1 barracks so far. I would hide the barracks over here. Yep. Another barracks. Squires coming in now. El Dorado not yet on the way in, but it should be barracks, like 7 of them. Big fight going down over here, but yeah, Sitaux gonna the onagers aren't doing it. My goodness, the onagers are not looking good, and now there's more trebs for Sitaux than there are for the Viper. Elite Eagle Warrior chainmail coming in for Sitaux, and Viper's just gonna lose this game. Viper just gonna lose this game. He didn't gain the advantage that he needed on the eco. He's got 10 more villagers, sure, but what's he doing with them? He's just going arbless into somebody who's making cheaper ones. And yeah, the elite skirms aren't doing it because he just doesn't have any sort of numbers. And Eagle Warrior's gonna be coming in. Still waiting on El Dorado to get clicked. Don't know how much it costs, so maybe that's a limiting factor, but I can't imagine it's too far out of reach for Sitaux. And Viper now looking at probably losing his castle. Never got Sitaux's, and Viper knows the game is over. I think he knows he's just waiting to get killed. Chemistry coming in for the Viper. He should maybe go skirm hand cannon. But he's wide open. You just can't fight eagles if you're wide open. And here he sees the Eagle Warriors. Elite Eagle Warriors. They don't have El Dorado yet. Viper killing some more villagers, upping his eco lead, but it's going to take a long time for this eco lead to kick in, and it's going to be way too long. That eco lead isn't going to be there by the time it kicks in. Viper panic adding a castle in the back corner of his eco. Just goes ahead and calls it. He sees the Eagle Warriors and calls it. Yep, Eagle Warriors would have won that game at any point they were switched into. Took him a while to add them. Viper barely better KD. Each of them killed one building. But just the army high, just never there. Eco, even that Sitaux won in the eco just because he was all over Viper's base. Playing that open with that little military just wasn't it. That's not how you win the games. Viper played very quickly because he was panicking the entire game, and still, just not enough. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, drop a like. If you want to see some more, subscribe. If not, that's all right. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya.